Hey everyone, this is Phil, and in this video we're going to be doing a very special unboxing. Today we're going to be looking at the Yuxin HuangLong 3x3. So this is going to be Yuxin's first flagship 3x3 in a very long time. The previously released 3x3, the Little Magic, seemed to be more appealing in the economy cube field. So this is their nice 3x3. So today we're going to take a detailed look at what exactly it's like and what you can expect from the cube. So this is the box. It's definitely a much fancier box than their previous packaging, and here are the cubes. So we have two varieties. We have a non-magnetic and then we have a stock magnetic. And as far as I know, the prices for these are very, very good, and so you're getting a very good deal, especially for the magnetic puzzle. So let's take a look at the turning. Yeah, so this cube is very snappy, and for a non-magnetic cube, it's actually pretty stable. It's not wobbly or squishy. Everything is very well put together, and certain turns actually feel like it has the stability of a magnetic puzzle, which is really interesting, and I find that pretty cool. This cube also feels very, very light in my hands. We'll measure exactly how heavy or light this cube really is, but you know, the feel is very, very light. And whenever I make a turn, I don't have to try very hard in order to move the layer. It kind of just goes. So I'm guessing this will be pretty good for one-handed as well for people that have a lighter style. The cube has, you know, your typical flagship 3x3 design with the squared off corners and the crescent edges. This definitely looks like a Yuxin puzzle from the outside given the shape of the center. And overall, it's just a very, very solid cube. Despite these large holes, it doesn't give you any nonsense, and it's very, very stable and quick. Here is the magnetic version, and the magnets they picked are definitely on the stronger side. I feel like for a puzzle like this, the plastic might be pretty thin, and so the magnets are definitely noticeable, and I can definitely feel them as I'm turning. The magnets are a great addition to this puzzle. They're not so strong as to force you to make a turn, but they're strong enough such that you can get that really nice snap at the end. And this cube is really, really stable. One thing I did notice with both of these cubes is that they're very, very fast outside of the box, almost to the point where I can't control them very well. But that's definitely something that we can adjust with lube. So let's take a look at these cubes and examine the mechanism and see what we can do to slow the cube down a little bit. So I was in the middle of disassembling this puzzle, and I noticed just how close these torpedoes are inside of the cube. So these two edge torpedoes over here are super, super close to each other. It's really, really interesting design. They don't touch when I turn the cube and it's aligned. I felt that was a very interesting thing to point out. It's definitely very, very, very close in almost contact in the cube. So this is the core of the puzzle. The center cap fits very, very snug, and it's really interesting. It has an octagonal design here fitting around a round cylinder. So that's very interesting. It's easy to take off, but it doesn't seem to come out easily. So these screws are actually fairly screwed in far, so there isn't really much spring that you can see. Yeah, this is a very interesting core, and so we'll definitely loop this up, and we'll see how it goes. So this is an edge piece. It has a very interesting multi-layer design, both this way and this way. And let's see what kind of magnets they have. So this looks like a 4x1 magnet. It's on the lighter side for us, but I think the cube's plastic is thin enough where a 4x1 magnet would definitely do the trick in terms of you know, giving you a good magnetic feel. Here's the corner. It has a pretty thin stock, very, very long also compared to some other puzzles. It has a lot of grooves over here, which definitely helps when it contacts the piece. And there is a lot of space in between the edge and the corner, which is also pretty cool. Some cubes have protrusions on the sides of the edges that fill up the space. This one has hollow space, which is pretty cool. And you can see how the pieces interact like this. So now we're going to loop the puzzle and put it back together and do some solves. Okay, so I just finished lubing this puzzle. I used some weight 4 and some D&M. I wanted the cube to retain its snappy sharp feel, and definitely did. And just so impressed with this cube. It's really, really good. And it has a very soft, but quick and stable feel. This is definitely one of the best cubes I've ever tried. And I think people are going to really, really like it. So great job to Yuxin on producing this puzzle. This is really, really deserving of its status as a flagship. So I'm very excited to try this in solves. Let's take a look at those.